Hello, Rec187 here, and we are back with some more combat mission Battle for Normandy. And we are rejoining the 2nd Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders on their push through Tourmauville and Tourmauville, with the aim to clear out the road to a bridge over the River Odon. So you'll have seen from the first episode where we essentially went through the opening manoeuvres and just kind of pushed out with our scouts, and we kind of laid claim to the section area of the map here. And now the real focus of this episode will be our initial push into Tourmauville. In terms of our troops and positionings, so we've got the 14th platoon led by Lieutenant Parker coming in, pushing in from the south, and then we've got the 13th platoon under Lieutenant Lumley, who's going to go for more direct push on the front of the town. And then kind of in reserve we've got Lieutenant McEwen and his 15th platoon, which are going to kind of hold this centre. We have identified a German machine gun nest, which is a priority target for us to take out, and we have called down 88mm howitzer strike on that position. Yeah, that's right, yes it is, 25 pounders as to actually call it down. And so that's spotting, so we've seen some explosions back in the town, which to be honest might be picking off a few Germans, and we're hopeful that they can get walked onto the target. Unfortunately, our spotter is located in this building here, so he might not be able to see the explosions in the town, so it may take him a little bit longer to complete the spotting. I was doing a little bit of havering at the end of the last video about when we really wanted to commit to this assault, as I really wanted to see this bunker taken out before we pushed in any strength. However, I've kind of made a decision that I'm gonna kick things off. So to do that, we've used Major Fife here of our kind of company HQ to call in a mortar barrage. She's using one of the 2 mortar battalions available to us. So we just got the 2nd battery available just at this minute here. But so he's going to use one of them to call in an area of fire just in these woods on the edge of town. And then the kind of theory being, if we can take the bunker, put a lot of pressure on these woods, that should allow elements of this platoon to kind of push in, essentially, hopefully unopposed, to take a position along this hedge line, and similarly we'll kind of push in from the south, with an ultimate aim to kind of secure these buildings. We don't have great vision on what's over here, but just kind of looking at the general terrain, it doesn't look like there's much of a position that's going to be available for some significant enfilading fire. Although we are continuing to push our scouts, so hopefully we can get a little spot on here before we commit with our troops. Because we have a TRP, target reference point, which we placed in these woods at the deployment phase, and so because we're calling in a bombardment on that, it's much quicker and more accurate, so this only has a 3-minute cooldown. So where it took us 9 minutes, I think, to call in the strike on the machine gun nest, this will only take 3 minutes. So I got things good off. Right, I'm just going to jump into the next minute as we kind of talk through it. So I'm not expecting huge amounts to happen. So B Company has arrived. They're kind of sitting in the back corner, just back here. And we're hopefully not going to use them too much within this mission. So I'm just kind of slowly going to push them up into this area as a bit of staging ground. Ideally, once we've kind of secured Tourmauville, we can then push them right up and just out the exit point. Depends how stiff resistance we meet in Tourmauville, whether we need to lean on their strength or not. But ideally, we won't use them. The other kind of decision I made is with this Spren carrier. So we had a couple of spare ones essentially parked in here. Getting closer. Still a bit off target. I am bringing the Brent carrier up, and I've broken off a 2-man scout team to pop them in here. Again, just to use it as a bit of a mobile MG emplacement, just to support the push of the town if we do need to kind of find any hard points. It's not great, but we don't, it's the only vehicle support we've got, so we might as well use it. So that's interesting. So we had 2 fire prefectors. So despite the fact that our bombardment landed a fair ways away, I don't know what's that, maybe like 20-30 meters. A quick guess, they're calling fire for effects. We'll have to see. It is going to be pretty problematic if we don't take out that MG emplacement. I mean, that really does threaten any kind of significant push to this field. They've got not great but reasonable lines of fire. But we could at least, if we fail to do it with artillery, then it's going to be really force us a more southern push on the town. I'd rather be able to use multiple directions. Let's just quickly jump back to the command phase. Right, so we have pushed up our scouts who have been ever so slowly crawling along this hedge. So now they're actually in parallel with the town, which should give them good sight lines to hopefully pick off a few positions, but they've not spotted anything yet. We're going to get this scout to come into this top story building as well, to again hopefully give us a bit more view over this area. And our last scout is pushed right up to the edge of this woods, so we'll again keep pushing with these guys to see what we can find. In the meantime, they're in position. This 15th platoon is just kind of moving into the centre here. And I don't think there's really too many more orders we want to give before we advance time again. The only thing I'm considering, and depends what state our snipers have got themselves into. They are still tiring. So we're in an okay position, but I probably like them eventually. It's probably somewhere kind of along here, maybe. Let's just try and get a little bit more sight into the town itself and into the backyards of some of these buildings. And they have obviously good vision on this, and there doesn't seem to be any movement in here, so that's useful information to have. And we'll leave them be for now. So let's give back to ourselves a bit of an elevated position, and we'll just advance for the next minute, and hopefully we'll see some pretty useful bombardments come in. I suppose if this attack... Oh, hang on. Let's go throw a quick pause in here right all the way off. So we have got a spot. So this looks like our scouts here coming into play. I'm going to assume so anyway. Yes, it is. Good. So we've identified another German position, which is excellent to see. It looks like he may have spotted them though. So that's another MG. They should be on... they may not be on Do Not Engage actually. And indeed they're having a pot shot. This is not going to go well for you guys. So that may be a slight error on my part. And I was about to say, we're sitting here 20 minutes in, 21 minutes in now, haven't taken a single casualty, which is pretty good as far as my combat mission goes. I usually get a couple of scouts killed off by now, so well, I may have to eat my words. Yeah. So I'm going to get these guys to go to ground. Assuming they survive this time. Well, they seem to be doing a decent job. Oh, nice. Come on. That was good. Wasn't exactly what we wanted. It's a decent start. And interesting, they seem to be doing a good job. They've got quite a nice angle on in terms of hitting this window, and indeed it looks like he's gone to ground, so fair play scouts. Oh! That is nice to see. Yes! Perfect. Perfect! 3 little red crosses to start us off. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that. Kudos to my spotter and my 25 pounders. They have delivered for us here. Excellent. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, good. Nice little start to the episode. So you guys are doing a good job. I mean, maybe I'm tempted to get you to continue actually. Why not? See if you can keep him suppressed. Don't need to burn through too much of your ammo. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll get you guys to hide for the next... Well, we've got 2 minutes until the strike comes in. I'm thinking we'll get guys to stick their heads down, wait till the mortar fire, and then as we start to push in with these guys, we can get him to resume his fire light. Although, to be honest, we could also bring up a Bren carrier. They wouldn't have to get too far forward, really, to be able to support without really exposing themselves to much we don't know about. So, and that's probably a healthier thing to do for my scout team than to get them to pick a fight with some troops in a building. So I'm going to give them a good old target arc. Hopefully discourage this kind of behaviour and get them to stick their head down. So hopefully... Oh, I have to select them. Hopefully by the time the German guy is unsuppressed, these are no longer firm contact, and he doesn't return fire. Meanwhile, have you guys got in? So look, you're just about in. All right, okay. If I order a move order, I wonder if I should wait till I finished him in, and then he'll move. So I'll get him to push up a little bit. Don't want to get too far ahead of the rest of my troops. Okay, you're moving in that building. You guys are doing a pretty phenomenal job. The question is how far I really want to try and push it. I'm tempted to try and get them up again in against this wall. There's not that many sight lines. I don't think there's any... it could be Germans in that field, actually. When you are scout teams, it is your job. One other thing it might be worthwhile to do, actually, is to bring them over to this side of the forest. Set them up against this hedge, see if they can get any eyes on anything out here. I mean, we've got our other target reference point in this forest, which I do want to nuke at some point. So maybe that's a better thing to do with them. I want you to come down here, back a wee bit. And then come over to this hedge. And just see what you could see. In fact, oh, you can't go in the corner. No, I think that's good. And then we can push up into that hedge, and that gives us a bit more eyes into the farm itself. Good. Alright, we're in a good place, so I think it's just going to be tick time on. These guys are still slowly moving out. That's absolutely fine. And see, yeah, let this barrage come from the mortars before we do any more pushing. That's a pretty positive start. I'm pretty happy about that. I keep getting this flash up vehicle icon, but it's just a burnt out stug from yesterday's activities. I don't know if that was an off-target howitzer or a mortar, to be perfectly honest. It looked more like a howitzer round. Ooh, yeah. Interesting that it's still showing as I suppose maybe because the bunker's still there. But it looks pretty nerfed. Nerfed? Nuked is the word I was looking for. Hopefully we get the credit for that, because I think there's bonus points in the mission for taking out both the MG nests. There's one here, and I think there's one up there somewhere. That's the end of our howitzer mission. Job well done. And then I think we might push our forward observers up, potentially up into here. I don't know what sightlines are quite like from that building. I'll check it out once my other scouts get in there. Oh, because he's a little bit behind this fire mission, but that's okay. Should be coming imminently. We've got some 4.2-inch mortars have arrived. No, you're part of B Company. You're off-mark mortars. Getting myself slightly confuzzled there. So we do have a lot of artillery support. Obviously the big caveat with this mission being that we are sharing our ammo with next mission. So anything we use now, we don't get next time. But they might be a worthwhile thing to pulverize this forest with. Not a bad idea. And I don't feel like we need to push any... I was saying I don't feel like we need to push any more support in this area, but maybe I'll hold off on that and keep these guys available and not commit them north just yet. I will bring some of these guys in. In fact, I'll just put a quick cut in here so I can tweak all their movement orders. But again, I'm just going to bring them into the centre with a view that maybe support if there's some additional fire required in this northern sector, which I'm a little bit weaker from my initial plans. So I will do that. I'll be back in a moment. And we're back. So movement issues ordered. No real change to what I was talking about before, and ready just to jump straight into the next minute. And hopefully we'll see some of the mortars fall down. So I can't remember if I talked about it before or not, but I'm moving this brain carrier who's been doing a job of suppressing the Germans in this building just over to the other side of the railway, so you can come along this road and again help support our push. Similar to what I plan to do with this brain carrier, just to get them, just to use the assets that I have available to me. I'm also going to relocate this forward observer. He's done his job there. And I'll get him to probably take up position in the centre, and then we'll see where we think we need to go there. Some nice explosions in there. I'm not convinced necessarily there is much of a German presence in here. We haven't really heard hide nor hair, but better safe than sorry, I think. And nothing else, maybe a few of the more outward shots will cause some damage. Although, to be honest, I expect most of the Germans within Tourmauville to be tucked up inside various houses, and mortar barrages aren't going to do that much to them. I think they've definitely got at least another minute in them. So that's fine, we'll jump into command phase. All I am looking to do in this order phase is to give this guy a pathing route over the railway, through this fence probably, and then push this field. We'll drop off the FO, and then it does give us another Bren/MG emplacement to use in case we kind of need to support some additional fire over here. Might not end up using it, but we'll see. So I'll just go quickly do that path, and then we'll come back and roll straight into the next minute until we really get to the end of this barrage, and then we'll send the troops in. Okay, and we're back, and as discussed, we're just going to jump straight into the action. Should be another round of bombardment in and amongst this position, and then that allows us to push on. Notice we have got our scouts now up in the top of this building. Oh, and we've spotted these guys up and about again, but that's okay because that's what this Bren carrier is for. No doubt they know something is coming their way. Taking a few pot shots at our guys, but thankfully no harm done. Well, it may not stay that way if we're not lucky. This should be the end of our fire mission. But either way, I can bring this Bren up next turn, start putting suppressive fire on this guy. Not worry, shouldn't, not so far in advance. I'm worried about burning through a lot of ammunition necessarily. Yeah, good. So this, let's go into command phase. Just check there's nothing else to see. No, there is not. And oh, our anti-tanks arrived. Yes, no. Oh, there it is there. Couldn't see the wood for the trees. Okay. Ammo carrier, that's okay. So we got ammo carrier and we've got one anti-tank gun. Which is somewhat of a concern, because that says to me there might be armour at some point in this mission. So we'll have to see how that goes. So I'll bring them up, but not do that on camera. I just want to check this guy's fire mission. Yeah, done. Okay. Might be a few rounds coming in the first, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, but there shouldn't be too much more, so I think we're safe to start pushing up. So I'm going to go and issue all the orders for that, and then we'll watch how our initial push into Tourmauville goes. Okay, and we are ready for the off. One quick note before we kind of jump into action. I had a quick check, let's go and I'll show you. I had a quick check of the actual sight lines of our scout division here, something I should have done really before setting into the building, and find that they get a lovely view of a couple of roofs, and that's it. So a pretty useless location. So what I have done is I've popped them down. I'm going to push them into this building here, so they won't get much view northward. Obviously, building's in the way, but at least they'll get a view over this kind of orchard and the kind of northern section of Tourmauville, just to make sure there's no nasty surprises. That said, I am committing to pushing forward this turn. So we've got Corporal Richard of the 3rd section of the 14th platoon, who's bravely volunteered to be the first platoon in. So we've got 3, broken them down into their teams, and I'm pushing them forward just to this hedge line. Not going kind of all in with everyone pushing forward. The kind of theory being that we've kind of cleared enough of this area to allow us, hopefully, safe access to the hedge line at least before we find stiffer resistance in the town. And I don't want to overcommit, just in case that's a false assumption. And then in the middle here we've got Corporal Heath, again a 3rd section but of 13th platoon, who's going to again split into their 3 teams, and they're going to push across this middle. Again supported by 2 Bren carriers. So this chap, he's going to suppress fire on 2nd story of that building, just in case there's some guys still there. This carrier is going to come up and do the same to this position. I've also given these guys a weapons free order, so they're well able to return fire. And that's about it, so let's just go with it. Not all going well. It's just going to be a minute of my glorious lads running forward unopposed. And I hope I've not mistimed my mortar rounds.
Hello, round complete.
Okay, good. Round's complete, so we'll to here. Okay. No horrible machine gun noises just yet. I mean, I suppose it's always possible they put more people into that bunker, but hopefully, I don't. Well, it clearly doesn't look like we've completely damaged it. Okay, Brain Carrier doing its job on these guys, and we're pushing up as planned without resistance, which is fantastic. I'm starting to keep an eye on my time, so it's almost half an hour gone. And we also do have to clear out Tourmauville as well. So I'm probably going to have to start to split my attention and really start, not pushing, but probing the outskirts of Tourmauville to see if we can't identify the German positions there. Now that we've started this attack in earnest, I think I'm going to free up these scouts to come up and support in terms of identifying additional positions. Okay, so that was a really good minute. I don't feel the need to change anything just yet. With this platoon here, I would like to try and get them essentially just in here, ready to take a position in the bottom floor of this building, but not to do it just yet. And similarly, we'll get a kind of platoon up here ready to take a position in this building. An idea we can take them at the same time, and then we have more kind of guns pointed at whoever is opposing us on this in the actual town proper. So yeah, good. Let's go command phase. So again, I'm going to go and issue some more orders. So I will get these guys to push across. I will get a platoon to take up positions where they were on this hedge, and I'll get another one of these sections. Another one of these sections to start pushing across as well. So we'll be right back in a moment. Okay, orders issued, and we've got a couple of sections lined up to come in behind the first two, and we'll just jump in, and hopefully we'll continue to progress with little incident. It'd be nice to build up a strong position before we come under any kind of serious fire. So he's reared his head up again. So I'm slightly worried about his line of fire onto obviously this field, but hopefully our brain carrier keep us suppressed. Let's maybe have a quick pause and see if that is... Well, no, I can see him firing out, so that's not the case. I've got these guys just start crawling out to break line of fire, and then they're free to head off to other pastures. No other spots so far. And so far, surprisingly uneventful journey into Tourmauville. Obviously, we're just in the outskirts of town. We've got a fair bit of work to do to clear the town proper. And as you go house to house, risk for casualties massively increases, you know. And they have the advantage sitting on defence. But again, another solid minute for ourselves. So I'm pretty happy to see that. Got my scout coming to position here. Got these guys pushing up, that's okay. I'm tempted maybe to give them a quick jog through the forest, just so we can't start getting some eyes on the other side sooner rather than later. But let's not distract ourselves. So these guys are now in position. I'm tempted to hold back with our final section on this side and just get these two ready to take up positions in these first two buildings. And then see how the land lies and bring this guy over shortly after. And similarly let these two sections take up position on this hedge and then bring the thing... Actually no, we could probably bring him across now. There's no real reason not to. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring the full 3 sections of this platoon over, and we'll even get their HQ involved for good measure as well. So these guys are now in position, so I need to give them orders to cross the railway line and take up position ready to take ownership of this building here. Perfect. Back in a moment. Okay, orders issued, ready to go, and go we shall. So yeah, nothing real change in terms of strategy, just continuing to push forward with the 2 platoons. I know I talked about keeping these guys back, but I felt, well, actually there's not much point in hanging them back here when no use, so I brought them up in a position to support. Again, oh, what on earth was that? And there we have it. First casualty of the game, of the round, from first section. So who's that? Of so it's Corporal. Oh, Domiclich? I can't even pronounce that. I mean, first casualty of the game. I should be able to pronounce it being Scottish, but we'll just gloss over that. What was that actually? Let's jump back and have a quick look. It looked like some kind of explosion. Hang on, what was that? I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. I didn't see any kind of indication of a shell round or anything. Didn't hear anything. Oh no, there you go. See it coming out. Okay, so that's mortars. So it could be direct fire, could be indirect. So it's something we're gonna have to pay attention of. And really, the better we clear it from this area, the sooner we clear it from this area, the better. Than if they're starting to drop mortars on it. All right, good to know. Well, we didn't expect to take it without a fight. So it's only fair. Oh, hang on. Just took another casualty there. And no, they have mined the railway platform. That is that's upsetting. So again, we lost another rifleman to that. I think he's escaped the artillery barge and then bang, steps on it and goes. So we do have one other group who are set to go over that railway. Okay, so hopefully that's the extent of their mines. We'll have to see. So we've got these guys in position, so next turn we'll take a position actually along the hedge line, see what we can see, and hopefully start putting some rounds their way. Throw some lead at them. Given that was a single round thus... Oh no, there's more coming in. I was going to say, given it's a single round, I'm guessing it was direct fire, but that indicates it's probably a called-in strike. So yeah, the quicker we can push in and get out of this area, the better. Okay, excellent. Well, ish. First two casualties. I'm not going to bother to clear this minefield, I don't think. So I will get all of you who... Ah, you've all made it there. Okay, so only one guy stepped on a mine out of a squad of 10. Well, 9 I suppose. So I want you guys to take up position in there. In fact, you don't need to go quickly, you can just walk in. And hopefully you don't set off any more mines walking through that door. You guys, I would like you to go quickly. In fact, just... No, I will... So, let me think my humming and hawing. I want them to go over this fence to this position and then in this door. I am slightly worried about some sight lines from a few of these other houses. We might be okay actually with the orchard and things. And you know, so if I do this, they'll get in positions to take a knee and then get in here. Actually, what I could do... actually, that's a better way of doing it. Let's split everyone up into their teams. And this shouldn't take a moment, so I'll just do it on cam. And then we can see it, look, get in there and then get in there. And that way, we can all get them to go to the same spot. Now, it's quite crowded for this number of guys. It is a bit risky. But what I really want in our first instance of exposing ourselves to this town... That's quite an open window, so maybe not the greatest shot. We'll have to see what that looks like. Anyway, is to really present a good front fire, so we can really offer a lot of rounds, a lot of firepower to any German positions that make themselves known, thereby overcoming them. You know, without taking casualties. We don't want it to get any kind of fair firefight. That's not what we're here for. You keep up the good work. Just keep up the good work. I'm gonna have to get this guy. Maybe I actually might bring him into this position here because I want to get him slightly away. I'm worried about these mortar rounds. Some options are to pull him back or try and push on. I'm feeling like we can probably push on with him. Maybe a little bit foolish. But we gotta go for that. And you can keep this suppressive fire up because we're only going into the ground floor, so you shouldn't hit any of our guys in the back of the head. And actually, once we take these positions, I'm going to get everyone to cross onto this road and push up rather than cut across. Meanwhile, Sniper Doodah. He's in a good position. I'm going to dispense with the crawling. Just get you to walk along here, actually. See what you can see. Hopefully not get yourself blown up. Good. So we'll take position on this hedge. We'll take these first two houses. Everyone else is continuing to come in support. And... oh. And hello. I don't think we've taken any casualties. I didn't check if we did any firing though. No, you guys are good. You guys are good. You're good. You're good. But do you know what? I'm going to cancel that order, seeing as we've just found ourselves some German positions. Yeah, fair enough. We've got artilleryman. Who's taking a pot shot at someone. Okay. And we've got... oh, bad day to be these guys. But we've got another potential spot here. Just sworn I saw a little grey square there a minute ago. Am I seeing things? Look, just in here. Interesting. Okay, so there's a few dribs and drabs of soldiers kicking about. So what I think we should do... okay, so I'm going to get some movements. Here's what we're going to get him. This third section, so this is Corporal Lawton, to come round and obviously provide some fire to take out those dudes. I'm going to get this scouting team to actually come up to this... actually, where do we think they are? Which side of a hedge do you think we're on? I'm going to get them come up to this hedge just to make sure they're not in this field, because if they are, we should be able to take them out. Yeah. Don't worry me. They don't worry me too much at the minute. And you guys are just going to take a position there. Good. Alright, I'll go plug those orders in and then we'll come back. Okay, orders are in, and I'll re-change the orientation so we should be able to see what happens in Tourmauville, as well as any horrible flashes from over in that direction. The action tick, and let's see what happens as we take our first place. Hopefully these guys get in without any more nasty surprises. Oh, our scouts have indeed taken a casualty. That's unfortunate. And we've made another spot. Oh, come on! That's annoying. And what are you... these guys... so... pathfinding! So they've decided, from this position, the quickest way to get in this building is to hop this fence, walk around the front and then get in. So I'm probably going to have some casualties here as well. But we have spotted some guys in the middle of a street. That's not going to go well for them. Looks to be... it could be a artilleryman, could just be a HQ, or even just a leader, to be honest, of a infantry squad. We'll see what materializes. And it looks like MG man. So relocated away from the front. Okay. Like I say, I think this is going to go badly for these couple of troops here. But we shall continue to watch and see what happens. And I suspect we'll get some resistance along this hedge. But which makes me happy I did drop those mortar rounds in that position now. Hopefully we managed to cause a few injuries. Right. These guys at least being a little bit sensible. It looks like we might have got away with it, you know. A little bit close to the action. Oh, we have spotted some people. I'll go have to look over there. We'll do it in two halves. So these guys should be getting minced, hopefully, lying out in the open. We've got the cover, although we're cowering, which isn't great. Potentially having taken that extra casualty, it's not going to help the morale. But we've got another position built up. That probably isn't helping them shooting in the second story. We'll be a little rattled from that, but that's okay. Yeah, we should definitely be putting some fire on these guys. And we have caused at least one injury. Okay, so this looks like, yeah, just an infantry section, or some of one anyway. Can we see this dude? No. I wonder if he went to ground. When was the last time we saw him? Or if we just lost sight. Because we are cowering. Nah, he looks absolutely fine. having a day of his life, just chilling out. Yeah, okay. And I suspect, yes, because these guys are all curled up. Apart from one chap. Brave man. Who are you? That won't tell me, will it? But hopefully they can pull themselves together and get back in the fight. Good to have this supporting guys here, and once we get some more rifles in, that's only going to make life better. But yeah, took another casualty there. It's, unfortunate, but there we go. And it looks like... Oh no, he was from the initial barrage. That's right. Okay, let's rewind the minute. Let's have a look, see what happened over here. So we did take a casualty in these guys. I saw that flash. Oh no, it was these guys. Okay. Ah, so these guys had drawn their fire. So in pulling back, we attracted. Was it these troops? Yeah, potentially. That's unfortunate. I thought I was going to get the kind of sneaky position on, but that hasn't happened. And then we did make a spot. Now, which side of the fence was it? Where are they? Hang on. Right here. Oh, mortar team. That would be good to take out. How does that go for our scouts? You may not jump around too much. No, shoot these guys. Come on. Oh my god, there's lots of them. So we have been shooting at them. We've injured one of the guys. So that's a mortar team. And is this an infantry unit? Potentially. I think we're going to be outnumbered here. Grenades will probably start to fly, which is what we saw. Yeah, there we go. And injuries but no deaths. I really need those automatic weapon skids getting involved. Come on, lads. You're probably cowering, though. Pinned, yeah. Not ideal. Come on. At least it's only one of them. It's fine. You've got a Bren, you've got a Sten. Spray them. That's what you guys are there for. Oh, I see movement. There we go. There's another injury. There's another injury. Yes! And these guys are going to start to seriously freak out. In fact, oh, you got all three of them. All three of them and one of them. He's going to give up and run away. And hopefully get shot in the back. Okay. That was good. That was good. Some very good scout work there. And then this infantry... Well, maybe not this turn, but... We should get a spot on those infantry guys again. They'll not be protected. And we can take them out. So I'm happy what we're doing there. But I am going to have to call this video to a close. I think it's been a relatively successful push. I was kind of hoping to get slightly further into Village this episode, but not to be. But I think we've got a strong footing, and we'll get this cleared out next time. Our time is looking okay. About a third of the way gone. But I feel like we're in a relatively strong position. Only taken a few casualties, but inflicted a lot more on the Germans, and if we can keep those kind of odds up, I will be a happy man. But thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.